Hey man, one of the most frustrating things for men is trying to figure out whether a woman is actually interested or just playing games. You see signs, little hints, small gestures, but then she pulls back, leaving you second-guessing everything. That's because women rarely show their interest directly. They live in the world of subtlety, of hints, of plausible deniability. Why? Because female psychology values mystery. She doesn't want to expose her desire and risk rejection. She doesn't want to give away her power too early. So instead of showing you her cards, she plays the long game, giving you just enough to keep your attention while keeping her real feelings tucked safely away. When a woman likes you but doesn't want to show it, she often communicates in contradictions. She'll flirt lightly, then act distant. She'll show signs of jealousy but deny she cares. She'll compliment you in one moment and challenge you in the next. This back and forth isn't random, it's her way of testing you. She wants to know if you'll stay grounded while she shifts between warmth and coldness. Because if you crumble, chase, or get confused, she'll lose respect. But if you remain calm, confident, and unmoved by her mixed signals, her attraction only grows. She's not hiding her interest because she doesn't feel it. She's hiding it to measure your strength. Another way women act when they like you but don't want to show their cards is through indirect attention. She may not tell you outright that she likes you, but she'll find excuses to be around you. She'll laugh louder at your jokes than anyone else. She'll remember small details you shared weeks ago. She'll subtly mirror your body language without even realizing it. These are her leaks, little giveaways that betray her hidden interest. But she masks them under casualness, because admitting interest outright would mean surrendering control. And women rarely surrender control early on. They want to feel like they were chosen, not like they chased. Pay close attention to how she reacts when other women are around you. If she likes you but doesn't want to show her cards, she'll rarely confess her jealousy, but you'll see it in her energy. She'll suddenly get more talkative, more playful, or even more dismissive when another woman is near. She may make subtle digs, or she may accidentally touch you more when another girl is watching. These small displays aren't random, they're strategic. She's trying to stake her claim without exposing her heart, because in her mind, showing jealousy openly would reveal too much. So she channels it into subtle moves designed to keep you alert without giving away her full hand. Here's the paradox. The more a woman likes you, the more likely she is to hide it in the beginning. Why? Because vulnerability is terrifying for her. To admit desire is to risk rejection, and women fear rejection more deeply than men. That's why they mask their interest with games, tests, and contradictions. They want you to figure it out, but not too quickly. They want you to chase, but not desperately. They want to feel chosen, but not exposed. And if you don't understand this dance, you'll either push too hard and scare her off, or you'll miss the signs completely and let her slip away. That's why awareness, brother, is everything. Because the man who can read her without her saying a word is the man who wins the game. One of the clearest tells that a woman likes you but doesn't want to admit it is how she tests your attention. She'll drop small hints, a subtle change in her hairstyle, a new dress, a playful joke, and then act as if it doesn't matter whether you notice, but she's watching closely. If you recognize the detail and respond with calm confidence, she feels seen without feeling exposed. If you ignore it, she may act indifferent, but inside, she feels a sting. These silent tests are her way of gauging whether she exists in your eyes beyond the surface. And though she'll never admit it, every test is a quiet confession of interest. Another sign is how she frames her curiosity about your life. A woman who likes you but won't say it outright will ask small, seemingly harmless questions. Do you always come here? What kind of music do you listen to? Do you ever get bored of being so focused? On the surface, these sound casual, but underneath, they are her way of opening small doors into your world. She's collecting data, building a profile, piecing together who you are, not because she's nosy, but because she's invested. She wants to know what kind of man you are, while pretending it's just friendly conversation. The deeper her curiosity, the stronger her interest, hidden though it may be. Watch closely how she engages with your presence compared to others. If she likes you but doesn't want to reveal it, her energy shifts around you. She may not throw herself at you, but her body betrays her. Leaning in slightly, holding eye contact longer than necessary, tilting her head when you speak. Even in group settings, she'll position herself where she can see you, listen to you, or casually bump into your space. These subtle movements are not random, they're instinctive. A woman who has no interest doesn't seek proximity. A woman who's drawn to you, but hiding it, will always find small ways to orbit closer without making it obvious. You'll also notice her using humor and light teasing as a shield. When a woman is interested but doesn't want to lay her feelings bare, she often disguises it under playful banter. She might mock something about you, exaggerate a joke at your expense, or playfully challenge your statements. On the surface, it looks like she's keeping you at a distance. In reality, it's the opposite. It's her way of building intimacy without saying, "I like you." Humor is the safest way for her to bond without vulnerability. And if you respond with calmness, confidence, and wit of your own, you're not just passing her test, you're deepening her attraction. One of the strongest signals is how she behaves when you pull back slightly. If she likes you but is trying to hide it, she'll often overcompensate the moment she senses distance. She may initiate more conversations, ask where you've been, or suddenly act more attentive, all while pretending it's casual. She doesn't want to look desperate, so she frames it as friendly concern. But underneath, it's her fear of losing your attention leaking through. Because here's the truth. Women who don't care, don't chase. So if she notices your absence, if she responds to your pullback with sudden curiosity or effort, that's not coincidence. It's her silent confession that you matter more to her than she wants you to know. A woman who likes you but doesn't want to show it will often act unpredictable around you. Some days she's warm, laughing, engaged. Other days distant, cold, or distracted. This inconsistency isn't because she lost interest. It's because she's wrestling with herself. She doesn't want to appear too eager, too obvious, too vulnerable, so she creates this push-pull dynamic, giving you just enough to stay hooked while pulling back to protect her pride. To the untrained man, it feels like confusion, but the wise man knows her inconsistency is the very sign of her interest. A woman who feels nothing for you will always be consistently distant. One of the clearest giveaways is how she remembers the small things. Women who are indifferent don't hold on to details, they let your words pass like air. But when she likes you, even if she hides it, her mind clings to everything. The way you take your coffee, the song you mentioned liking, the story about your childhood. Weeks later, she'll casually reference these things, pretending it's no big deal. But this recall isn't casual, it's investment. Her memory betrays her feelings, because no woman invests energy remembering a man she doesn't value. When she recalls the details, it's her subconscious signaling that she's already been paying closer attention than she wants to admit. Another thing you'll notice is her subtle testing of your frame. She might make comments designed to provoke a reaction. "You probably say that to every girl," or "I bet you couldn't handle someone like me." On the surface, it's playful banter. Underneath, it's her way of measuring your strength. She wants to see if you'll get defensive, flustered, or needy, or if you'll remain calm, unshaken, even amused. These tests aren't attacks. They're her way of protecting her interest by making sure you're the kind of man who won't crumble when challenged. Because nothing turns a woman off faster than realizing the man she secretly likes can't even handle her little storms. If she likes you but won't say it, she'll often engage in safe intimacy. She won't confess her feelings outright, but she'll share personal stories, secrets, or vulnerabilities in small doses. She frames it as casual conversation, but really, she's revealing parts of herself to see how you handle them. If you respond with strength and non-judgment, she feels safer and more drawn in. If you mishandle it, she pulls back. This is her way of inching closer without exposing herself fully. Because in her mind, every secret shared is a risk, and sharing them with you means you've already been given a level of access she doesn't hand to just anyone. One of the most overlooked signs is how she tries to influence your perception of her without being obvious. She may subtly highlight her accomplishments, her passions, or her values in conversation. Not to brag, but to show you she's more than surface level. She wants you to admire her without her asking for it directly. She may casually mention that she cooks, that she works hard, that she's loyal in relationships, all framed as offhand comments. But underneath, it's calculated. It's her way of selling herself without looking like she's selling herself. Because if she openly campaigned for your approval, she'd risk losing her mystery. So she plants seeds instead, hoping you connect the dots. One of the clearest ways women reveal interest without admitting it is through indirect competition. When she likes you but doesn't want to confess it, she'll pay attention to the other women around you. She may not confront you directly, but her behavior shifts. She'll talk louder when another woman is near. She'll accidentally stand closer to you. She'll laugh harder at your jokes when there's an audience. These subtle shifts are her way of signaling, "I'm the one you should notice," without ever saying it out loud. Women rarely fight openly for a man. They compete quietly through energy, attention, and presence. And if you pay attention, you'll see her claim her space around you, even when she pretends she doesn't care. Another way she reveals herself is through selective vulnerability. Women are cautious about showing weakness, especially to men they don't value. But when she likes you, she'll carefully let her guard down. Maybe she mentions something she struggles with. Maybe she asks your opinion on a problem. Maybe she lets you see a softer side. She doesn't show everyone else. On the surface, it looks casual, but in reality, it's a test and a confession. A test to see if you'll protect her vulnerability, and a confession that you matter enough for her to risk it. Women don't expose themselves emotionally to men they don't care about. If she does it with you, even subtly, it's a strong sign she's holding back feelings she doesn't want to show. You'll also notice her playing with time when she likes you, but doesn't want to show her cards. She may pretend she's too busy, but somehow always finds pockets of time to see you. She may cancel plans with others, but rarely cancels on you. She frames it as coincidence, but her actions reveal priorities. Women don't waste time on men they don't value. And even when she hides her attraction, she invests time because deep down, she wants proximity to you. The irony is that she'll disguise it as casual. Oh, I just happen to be free. But patterns don't lie. If she's consistently available for you, it's not coincidence, it's strategy. Another powerful giveaway is the way she responds to your detachment. A woman who likes you but is trying to hide it cannot stand the idea of being invisible to you. If you pull back, she'll find subtle ways to reinsert herself into your life. Maybe a random text, maybe a casual comment on your social media, maybe accidentally bumping into you. She won't frame it as pursuit because that would expose her cards, but her actions reveal it anyway. Women who don't care let you fade. Women who do care but don't want to admit it find sneaky ways to remind you they exist. The more subtle her reappearances, the deeper the attraction she's trying to mask. Here's the paradox. The women who like you the most often hide it the hardest. Why? Because the higher the stakes, the greater the fear. If she doesn't care about you, she can be bold, direct, playful, because rejection doesn't matter. But if she truly likes you, she guards her heart, terrified of giving away power too soon. That's why she hides her cards behind games, hints, and contradictions. It's not because she isn't interested, it's because she's too interested. And if you learn to read these signals calmly, without rushing, without forcing, without begging for clarity, you put yourself in the strongest position. Because the man who can see her attraction without her confessing it is the man who controls the game. Another way she reveals hidden interest is through subtle investment. She might not come out and say she likes you, but she'll go out of her way to do small things for you. Maybe she remembers your favorite snack and brings it casually. Maybe she offers to help with something minor. Maybe she checks in on you when you didn't even ask. She frames it as kindness, but in reality, it's strategy. Because women don't invest in men they don't value. The more she invests, the more she's trying to build her place in your life without openly declaring it. And that investment is her quiet way of saying, you matter to me, while pretending she's just being thoughtful. You'll also notice her subtle self-promotion when she's hiding her attraction. She may not confess feelings, but she'll highlight qualities she knows you admire. If you value fitness, she'll casually mention her workouts. If you respect discipline, she'll bring up her ambitions. If you prize loyalty, she'll emphasize how different she is from other women. This isn't coincidence, it's calculated. She's branding herself as the kind of woman you'd want, without risking rejection by saying it directly. Women rarely promote themselves to men they don't care about. If she's trying to prove she's aligned with your standards, she's showing her cards in silence. Another huge sign is her selective patience. Most women are quick to get bored with men they don't value, but when she likes you, she tolerates more. Your busyness, your detachment, even your silence. She may act annoyed, she may tease you about being unavailable, but she still sticks around. She frames it as just giving you space, but underneath, it's her investment leaking through. A woman who doesn't care moves on instantly. A woman who hides her interest lingers quietly, waiting for you to notice her persistence. Her patience is not weakness, it's strategy. It's her way of staying in your orbit until you make the move she doesn't want to risk making herself. The most powerful sign of all is how she mirrors your energy. If she likes you, but doesn't want to show it, she subconsciously adopts your tone, your phrases, even your pace of movement. If you're calm, she relaxes. If you're assertive, she sharpens up. If you're detached, she leans in. This mirroring isn't planned, it's instinct. A woman only mirrors a man she admires. It's her body's way of saying, I'm aligned with you without words. And while she may hide her emotions behind jokes, sarcasm, or distance, her subconscious will always betray her. If you notice her syncing with your rhythm, that's the loudest confession she'll never speak. So here's the truth. When a woman likes you but doesn't want to show her cards, she lives in contradictions. She hides while revealing, she pushes while pulling, she tests while investing. She won't confess her feelings directly because vulnerability terrifies her, but her actions, her patience, her subtle investments will always tell the truth. And if you're sharp enough to read between the lines, you'll never be confused again. The mistake most men make is begging for clarity, forcing her to admit what she doesn't want to reveal. But the wise man doesn't chase words. He reads patterns. He stays grounded, calm, and observant. And by doing so, he becomes the rare man who sees through the games without ever needing her confession. That, brother, is how you win the hidden game of attraction.